Pardon me if I have to talk about me in as a third person. A 7-year-old witnessed his mom's suicide, and now, as a 26-year-old, he battles between seeking closure and keeping a sacred family secret. He feels alone, and now he's depressed. He's writing a book on this, but he trails off at this point, and then he continues. Fumi, maybe she was schizophrenic, and her suicide was a trick of the mind. But if schizophrenia is genetic, am I in danger now that I feel grossly depressed?
Thank you very much. The case is a very pathetic one because it is something that's supposed to have happened many years back, and now the individual is experiencing a mental breakdown. And this is really the trend when emotional issues are suppressed. The boy at 7 witnessed the death of the mother, which was a traumatic experience. We don't know whether this guy was able to deal with that experience, whether he was allowed to express his emotions as regards to the significant losses. And I have to remark here that in a place like our culture, where we do not encourage our children to express their feelings, then it becomes very difficult for such individuals to deal with such pent-up emotions. So the most likely thing that would happen is that this boy may have repressed these feelings, and he has to use a lot of defense mechanisms to keep this secret down. And anytime he exhausts his elastic limit, the defenses that he's using to suppress all these impulses, all these negative feelings, breaks down, then you begin to manifest abnormalities. In depression, significant losses are etiological factors. Then traumatic life events is also another traumatic loss. In the life of children, a lot of scholars who worked on depression have really expressed the importance of early childhood experiences in the adult life.
Right. Because
what happens is that most of these experiences, when they are first experience, the child is not in the better position to handle them or express them. So they tend to take whatever the adult world says, whether it is good or is bad. They now keep it to themselves. And when they keep it to themselves, it goes to the unconscious. As it goes to the unconscious, from time to time, even they may not be aware, such thing will begin to motivate some actions they cannot account for. Right. So, and that is why you see a lot of people, they do things, and after doing it, they begin to wonder, is it me that did this? Right. Because the forces pushing them to do it is not within the immediate awareness. It's at the unconscious level of human awareness. Because we as human beings, according to some psychiatrists and psychologists, man we call Sigmund Freud, said human awareness is of 3 levels. The alertness, the preconscious, and the unconscious.
The alertness will be when we are awake.
As we are awake now, we are very alert. That's the highest level of awareness. You now have the preconscious in between sleep and alertness. Right. And now the unconscious, which operates when you are sleeping. Then you are not aware of what is happening within your physical environment.
So some things that have happened to us in the past as children, when they are not dealt with,
and put in proper perspective, they are most likely going to be pushed into the unconscious.
Unconscious, yes.
Through the process we call repression.
Right.
So you repress it. Some people call it motivated forgetting. You decide to forget this thing so that it will not cause you the anxieties, worries, and pains, especially emotional pains, that remembering them generate. Right. So during adult life, as the individual is subjected to certain circumstances that will also challenge his or her defense coping mechanisms, when he now gets to the elastic limit, there will be no alternative.
So, I mean, so many behaviors that we see in this society actually can be explained the way that way. You use a very strong word. I've seen it happen many times. And the person will say, I don't even know why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Or, you know, I'm just under pressure. You know, because other pressures come, you can't cope. It's like everything is competing with your defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And, you know, all those things you are surprised are there taking that energy anyway.
Yeah.
So you lash out
Yeah.
in some kind of, you know, deviant behavior oftentimes.
It's possible because there are certain things, there are other conditions that can make people to behave without actually appreciating the implications of their behavior.
What should this young man, I mean, he's 26 now, you know, can he be helped?
He should seek professional help. He should seek professional help. You can still deal with that experience through what we call psychotherapy. Then because in psychotherapy, you have to get to the deeper levels of the individual's personality functioning and try to change it. Then he has to develop a different worldview of evaluating things and relating to things. So he has to give different interpretations that are most likely going to make him more comfortable to cope. There is nothing he can do about the death of the mother. And
he didn't cause it.
He didn't cause it. Then the ambivalence he may have been experiencing because, one, the love of the mother and the hatred for the mother not being alive to discharge her responsibilities of the mother is a lot of forces that many people carry along. Both those who have not even broken down. And you could see that depending on which area of the ambivalence the individual is, he begins to behave in a way that will either project hatred or love. So, and it is when people do not develop normally that they are more prone to break down.
I'm sitting there and listening to you because, you know, I lost my mother when I was 7, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to him and I'm thinking to myself, gosh, I mean, I know exactly what he's talking about, that void. There's this emptiness that you can never seemingly feel. Yeah. And this young man who sent this text message has communicated with me before, and I could instinctively almost feel him. Okay. I think that if he's watching and I would get in touch with him, I've already suggested as much as that to him. Yeah. But I also felt there would be people out there who were in similar circumstances, that what you need to do is get professional help. There are people out there, here in Nigeria, here in Lagos, all over Nigeria, who can help you deal with that particular situation.